Happy Tuesday, everybody. I think I went live a minute early, so sorry. I was pushing a button I didn't mean to. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat everything. Celebrity gossip, who's divorcing on TikTok, who's hanging out that's going to make Jeff upset, Jeff Lewis Live, reality TV, all the things. I hope if you had Labor Day off, and it's Labor Day. I feel like Labor Day is probably not the same date in every country, right? So probably a lot of our friends in France and London and Australia and Canada, everyone didn't have the same day off yesterday. So anyways, if you had the day off like Jeff Lewis, welcome back to the regular live. Welcome back to school. It was so many celebrities' first days of schools for their kids. I saw Aaron Leachy's, Bethany Frankel's kid, Bryn, started high school. Probably other people I'm forgetting right now. Anyways, I hope you had a great time. We had a wonderful long weekend with our friends. We love the Texas Hill Country. We were on the Guadalupe River, and we've done this for about 10 years with friends, gone there. And, that darn river, they claim, tubing is so fun in Texas. That river water is like 63 degrees, ice freaking cold. So anyways, it is fun, but there's a lot to be said for the dang water and getting used to it. But the next day we rented a double. We've never rented a double before. This one was a pontoon boat, but a double decker, they called it, and it had a slide, so it was super cool, super fun. We had a fantastic captain, a guy that's actually, he's like, where y'all from? Near Houston. And we're like, oh, just south of Houston. He's like, yeah, where? We're like, Pearland. And he's like, no way. He went to the I don't want to say the other school, but he went to a high school that my kids don't go to. But anyway, super nice guy. We had such a good time. Ate so much food. I probably gained 10 pounds, and it hasn't stopped because you know what? I fixed myself with some more in the microwave about an hour or two ago. I'm like, I don't know where I think this weight's going to go, but we're just here for it. Anyways, can you fix your mic? It's almost sideways. It's actually not, but anyways, thank you. Sideways. That's so weird. Anyways, it's not. Okay. Let's get into it. So much. We had kind of a quiet weekend, but not really. So if y'all saw my video, it is like over 1 million views now on TikTok. Social media is the weirdest thing. You can never guess what video will do well. Like you think, oh, people are going to want to talk about this. No. So I was shocked at these two ladies that are married, legally married, Danae and Mandy. Danae Hayes. I don't know what Mandy's last name is. Over on TikTok. They're big on Instagram too, but I always saw them on TikTok. Super funny. Just real, one's real country, one's real city. How they met. They would do these funny videos. They announced their divorce Friday. Very different than how Brittany announced her divorce or, divorce papers on a Tuesday, big news day. Remember I talked about this? Danae and Mandy wanted a little more respectable, a little more quiet, and announced it on a Friday afternoon. They both put it up on their things. Even Mama Todd, who has like 13 million subscribers on TikTok, she even posted, she's like, tell me, this ain't real. Like, I'm going to wake up. This is a dream. This ain't real. It was one of those couples that not perfect. They're not Pookie and Jet. If you do not know who Pookie and Jet are, Campbell Puckett, I feel like Campbell Hunt Puckett is her TikTok name, and her husband, Jet Puckett. Oh my gosh. They are almost too real to be true. Now they're still young, still kind of newlyweds. They haven't had children. She's pregnant to ruin the flame yet. But if they break up, I'm telling you, I lost all. Like, I can't trust love at all if they break up. So anyways, but I made this video. It's got like over 1 million views. So apparently I thought I'd be the only one obsessed with Danae and Mandy splitting up, but everyone wanted to chat about it. So a lot of us were very, very, very shocked on that. I guess they had a podcast together and they're saying it's been deleted already. They had just moved in like May. You know what? I'm 51. The older I get, the more I realize when someone buys a new house or they're moving, or not just one time, but like multiple times, there's signs sometimes that, oh, people are looking for bigger and better, or let me do this, let me have a kid and fix our marriage. Anyone knows that kid does not fix a marriage. So who knows what's going on, but they've got horses now. I guess that will go to Mandy. They just got another dog, I think. So it's really sad. Jax Taylor and Brittany, I mean, he announced in this, I don't know, setup picture, if you will, like who took the picture of him sitting on this yellow couch, that he did get out about almost 2 weeks ago from this mental health facility for over a month. And he has been diagnosed officially now with bipolar disorder and PTSD. The comments are very mixed, let's just say. The comments are very mixed. So it'll be interesting. Tiger King even commented and said Joe Exotic was like, oh, keep plugging, it'll be just fine. And I'm like, oh my God. When Joe Exotic is on your side, I'm like, I don't know that that's what you really want. But somebody DM me, and this is what I hate about the Valley and Vanderpump Rules, that the Valley, they're already posting about going on this cast trip to Hawaii. Clearly, Jax Taylor has been, I just reposted on my Instagram at Sarah from Texas Podcast. He posted a picture of him and Cruz in his pool for Labor Day. He posted promoting like karaoke or something at Jax's. And then he posted that he'll be hosting a bachelorette show or something. So does that mean he's not even going on the cast trip? Like at some point, I'm sorry, whether it's divided or not, is it an issue that, Brittany's mom couldn't come in and watch Cruz? Like, why couldn't they go on this cast trip? They've done this before. Do they just not want to be together? I don't even know that that's the case, that they're going on the cast trip and he's not going, but that's what somebody sent to me. So anyways, Labor Day is celebrated by many countries. Yeah, but I don't think it's the same day. It's not, the first weekend or whatever in September every time, right? The first Monday. Anyways, okay. We will talk about the Megan and the Heather and the Julie and the Brandy, because wow, my DMs, like we got home from the river. Well, we did the river and the lake. So whatever, we got home from the Texas Hill Country yesterday. We were tired. I started unpacking a little bit, all the things. And y'all started messaging me the video, because y'all know Heather has me blocked. Heather had posted a video of them. Maybe Megan also posted. I'm not sure. I'm getting all confused who all posted it. Of them in the pool. Anyways, we'll chat about that in a second, because I wasn't going to talk about it. And then that's all y'all were doing was DMing me. What do you think? This is so gross. This is so gross. This is so phony. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what I thought. It just looked very made up, like 7th grade, like to show off. Hey, I'm having a slumber party and you weren't invited, Jeff Lewis. Okay, let's chat about it in a second. But first, 1,000-pound sisters, Amy Slayton, whatever her last name was when she got married, came out that she has been arrested in Tennessee, I guess with her boyfriend. I'm assuming her 2 kids were there with her. They were at this, they're calling it a zoo. She made Page 6 and TMZ. Oh my God. Did y'all ever think Amy and Tammy from 1,000-Pound Sisters? Anyway, so it's not really a zoo. I think it's one of these drive-through. I'm not sure if they're driving in their own vehicle, like rolling down the windows. I'm not sure if they get on like a bus or a truck, kind of like safari style. But now we know it was her that was bitten by a camel. But when they came to render aid, they smelled something and they could see that she was acting funny. So I don't know. They try to give some legal term. Sarah Fraser is covering this like it's world news. So I am all here for it. I've got to go check her account after this and see if she called to see about bailing her out. I'm not lying. Sarah Fraser from the Sarah Fraser Show is trying to, I guess, use her own funds to bail Amy out in Tennessee. Because the sad thing was, since it was a holiday in Tennessee, they couldn't even get bailed out. They had to sit in jail. They had to rot in hell, as Brittany would say. Who took her kids? Gage and what's the other kid's name? 1,000-Pound Sisters have been off so long, TLC, waiting on season 6. I don't even know the little baby's name anymore, but They're 4 years old and 2 years old. Oh, okay. Kay Smith is giving me an update. I'm going to tell Sarah she should have texted me an update. She had already been released when Sarah called. Okay. They told her to call at a certain time, and I guess they released her early. But that's alarming. She is up for these, charges. I don't even know if they got, you say the word UGs, and I think you get in trouble. So I'm not going to say whatever she had, whatever substance. We don't even know exactly what it was yet. But also child endangerment, because they've got their kids with them. So disappointing. So disappointing. I mean, but I don't know, camel teeth, Amy being bitten. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. Real quick story before we chat about Megan and them. And then Jeff Lewis and Cynthia Bailey and Sutton and Jeff Lewis laying in bed with them on the Instagram Live. By the way, our Luna, she's laying on the floor from me. We didn't get her back until this morning at 7 a.m. I went and got her. So where we ended up boarding her, because our usual place had hurricane damage, and then she flunked out of the other place because she didn't play nicely with dogs, they claimed. So we had to go to this other place. They had to keep her 4 nights because Monday we were back at like 1:30, but we couldn't go get her because it was a holiday. It was the saddest thing. My husband was like, "Oh, Miss Luna, are you sure we can't go get her?" I'm like, "I'm sure, I've already asked." We've never been away from her 4 nights. I mean, I have, like, with traveling, but she's always been with someone here at the family. So anyways, she's exhausted. I bet she was playing with other dogs the whole time. We paid, they got to charge you to pay for playing, group play and stuff. Anyways, but one of the things I did, if you didn't see my story yet, is my mom, passed away 5.5, almost 6 years ago. And she had a group of besties from childhood in Iowa, and we don't see one of them very much. I had not seen her since we had this celebration of life about 6 weeks before my mom passed away, which was a beautiful thing. I will always recommend you do a celebration of life for someone if you know they're, terminal and going to pass. But she reached out to me a little bit ago, weeks ago, and was like, "Hey, we're going to actually be in Texas. We're going to be in San Antonio for an event." And when she told me, I was like, "Oh, well, we'll be in the hill country also." I mean, I would have driven 3 hours to go see her. Anyways, me and her husband sat at the IHOP for an hour and a half, just sobbing, happy tears, memories, funny stuff. It was everything we both needed. It was everything. They knew my mom when she met my dad. I mean, it was so good. It was so, so, so good. So I made a little video to advise people, if you've lost a loved one, no matter who they are, aunt, uncle, child, grandparent, aunt, whatever, contact one of their close best friends and just see if you can get some stories out of them and just have the best time. Because I promise you, they will love talking about that person, and you will too. And you will love hearing those stories. It was truly so, so, so beautiful. I mean, so beautiful. Okay. Not beautiful according to y'all, because y'all are super dang opinionated about this. Oh my gosh. I mean, y'all are, first of all, like I said, Heather McDonald has me blocked. Come on. So I couldn't look at her reel, but apparently Brandy makes this video because she's not in it. They're at a pool. I think Heather's house in the Palm Desert, or wherever it's called, Desert Sluts, I think they named it. Is Megan all posed, and Megan is just Heather all posed, Megan, legs out, everything. Megan just sitting there, and then Julie is like, ha, 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 ha. I mean, no, this had been set up for hours. I mean, they were like, "What are we going to do?" They probably did 10 shots. They probably edited it. I mean, all the things, what hashtags are we going to have? All this stuff. It just looked fake to me. And it looked like, nanny boo boo, we're trying to get back at you, Jeff. Like, we were 4 of your best friends, and now I don't know if Heather was a best friend. And now we're all together kind of against you. So I didn't really think much of it. I was like, whatever, I'm not even going to talk about that. Heather's got me blocked, whatever. That's all Heather wants to do. is bitch about me talking about her. You know what I mean? If she didn't post the content, she wouldn't give me anything to talk about. So what the F ever. And then y'all send me a picture. Who posted the picture? I feel like Heather, I don't know who posted this. I'm not blocked by Heather, not even blocked by Julie and Brandy, but they don't really post a lot. You know what I mean? But anyways, once y'all posted this picture, I went to it because I'm not blocked. Then I could read the comments, and people were commenting, and y'all were commenting, and just, this looks so bad. Y'all are just so, angry at Jeff. And then there was other people defending them. I love this. So there's definitely two sides to this whole thing. And then I was like, I'd seen I love TikTok. I'm telling y'all, you got to follow me on TikTok, Sarah from Texas Podcast. Because I love, as a user, as a creator, it's easier for me to make a video from there. So, and then I've figured out that I can just make it there and post it really quickly. And then when I get time, I take the same video and put it on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook if I have the time. But I love the ease of TikTok. So make sure you're following me over there. But also, what was I saying? The way y'all wanted to talk about this. I can't remember. Anyways, reading the comments. I think it was under Megan's that I was reading the comments. And again, very divided. But y'all really had something to say. Y'all really have a lot to say about that. So who knows? Give me your thoughts. Is it real? A lot of you think Megan is being played. Megan is being kind of used in this whole situation. I don't know. Is it trauma bonding? It absolutely makes sense when someone doesn't like someone and you don't like someone, that y'all start talking and kind of, and maybe you end up agreeing. Maybe it's just out of anger or what have you. I'm Cheryl Crow says, so what was said? It's just a lot of, support and then negativity. You know what I mean? It's just very opinionated on both sides, basically. Dana Maria says, I posted under that picture and said, but wasn't Megan really mean to you? I don't understand that reunion. And that's a lot of what people said. Now, Jeff has had many falling outs with people, and he has, made up with them and apologized. They've apologized, all that stuff. So maybe she realized, I didn't think I liked you, and now I really do like you. I don't know. Maybe it's just because some of y'all messaged me and said, Megan is really close to Brandy and Julie. Julie and Brandy are very close to Megan or Heather. So maybe Heather and Megan aren't super close, but the four of them are going to be together. You know what I mean? So especially at this kind of weekend thing. So Nick James says, it feels very Mean Girls. We only wear pink on Wednesdays. Exactly. And look at me wearing salmon on Tuesday. So anyways, yes. Miguel says this happened with Scott and Gage, basically. And that's what I've been saying since the beginning. It doesn't shock me that Scott and Gage got together. They clearly have a type, Jeff Lewis. They clearly had a rough breakup with him. But also Scott, when they saw each other at the what's the freaking mall? The Grove. When they saw each other at the Grove, I think Scott probably was happy to see Monroe. He had practically lived with her for 2 years during the pandemic. He had a very close relationship with her. But also, he was about to go through, or maybe he'd already started going through this surrogacy process to be a single dad. So they had that in common, which is huge. So then they fell in love, which, like I said, I'm never against. I'm really not. And I think Jeff has said multiple times, he's okay with it. He's like, whatever's best for his daughter, right? Like, he just wants things to be calm. And I think they are two calm people. I think they seem to be in love. What I don't understand is why they're both, I guess Scott owns a house probably in this fancy neighborhood. Gage is now renting a house in this fancy neighborhood. Like, why haven't they moved in yet? I think even Jeff said that he saw a crib whenever he toured Gage's rental. So clearly that means baby Stone is there a lot. Is he even a baby anymore? I feel like Stone was born in like January, so he'll be 2 in a couple months. That's crazy. Oh, Lori says, I saw Scott and Gage and Monroe at the Grove. They must love it there. They're so handsome. I think they do go to the Grove a lot. Now, I've been, it's a super cute outdoor mall. You know, apparently they used to love the Janie and Jack there. So I don't know. Am I getting ready for the gym tonight? Oh, don't stress me out. I haven't been to the gym in so long because, like Jeff, I don't think I had walking pneumonia. I don't know. Maybe I did. I think that's kind of hard to diagnose. But I was definitely sick for a while and just not 1,000%. So, anyways, Jeff threw these people away. He has the option of not looking, K Hef says. Well, and I think that's why he said that he unfollowed Megan. He literally said, I don't want to look at her Instagram memories or events, things when she's with people that, you know, don't like me and I don't like them. You know what I mean? So Christina says Megan is sober now and she and Heather may have talked. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and a lot of people reminded, you know, well, I knew, but said, you know, that Megan, I think, was clearly or admittedly drinking that night, maybe chocolate mushrooms, whatever that is. So that, you know, she might have said, you know, like, what do they call that? You know, a sober man's thoughts or a drunk man's words, blah, blah, blah. She might have said things that she thought that she didn't intentionally mean to say out loud. You know what I mean? So because of that, D. Dot says Jeff needs to apologize to Heather for his action. He's vindictive and can be extremely mean, in my opinion. I say never say never. I always talk about the, you know, yes. Never say never with Jeff Lewis. I absolutely think that he and Megan could eventually be friends again. I think she will need to say some apology and be held accountable, as he likes to say, for some things, mainly going on, you know, Patreon to chat about him often. So who knows? Yes. Miguel says a drunk tongue is an honest one. Yeah. I mean, Jeff always says he's super extra nice whenever he's drunk. So anyways, okay, well, y'all get comfortable in comments. I know you have a lot of thoughts about that. Like I said, I wasn't even going to chat about it, but oh my goodness, my DMs, y'all were just. And when I finally looked at the comments of whichever one Megan must have posted that I could see, or maybe it was Julie. I think Julie's the one that actually posted it. I could read the comments and I'm like, oh, it's very like both sides, like the juicy scoopers are coming and the Jeff Lewis chumps are coming. And, you know, I don't know. Dana Maria says, has Fortune Feimster ended her friendship with Heather McDonald? I love Tron Juicy Scoop. I don't know. And at the very end, we'll chat about it in a second. At the very end of today's Jeff Lewis Extended, Doug, I guess, asked, they were talking about, you know, fallings out, you know, when people fight. And he basically said, I don't really do anything. I don't really get into fights with people. I don't really like that. You know what I mean? So, wait, what? Here's you then says, why does Kelly Dodd want you investigated? I have no idea. I didn't hear that at all. Investigate me all you want. Trust me. I'm so on the up and up. It's unbelievable. Do you think Jeff will talk about it? No, I think he doesn't. Oh, it didn't come up. Louise, I don't think he wants to give it. I'm sure he knows about it. I mean, the way, you know, people send him messages and stuff. So I'm sure he heard about it. I think Shane might even still follow a few of them. I don't know. So Shane might even see it in his feed. You know what I mean? I don't really know. ZFL says, Jeff is the only one that has ever come out publicly and said I was wrong, or I wish I made a different choice, or handled a different way. Handled it differently, or something like that. ZFL. Can y'all imagine if Heather never made that emergency Patreon and we would have maybe never heard of it? But in my heart of hearts, and I think Jeff has admitted this, I think he would have talked about it, even though he wasn't even there. Y'all don't forget, he wasn't even there when Megan had this heart-to-heart with Heather McDonald at her house. And then I think the next night she made a Patreon and posted it. I think she had texted Megan Megan said her phone was dead. She couldn't use anyone else, whatever. Didn't reply to her. So, I wasn't there. Kelly Dodd was there. Chef Stu was there. Who else was there? I feel like, Heather McDonald's sister, I feel like was there. I feel like her husband was there, Peter. K-Hef says Jeff was wrong. No one else needs to apologize. R.N. Yvonne says, not a Heather fan. She's no saint. Jeff isn't either, but I can trust someone who is transparent. So, ZFL, that's a great point, Sarah. I think Jeff and Megan will reunite as they have done many times in the past. Can already hear the other women upset about it. Oh my God. I don't know. I feel like Heather, I'm sorry. I feel like Megan and Julie and Brandy are very connected right now. And I do not feel that I would be shocked if Megan made amends with Jeff because of her respect and her friendship with Julie and Brandy. Yeah, absolutely. I would be shocked. Debbie says, Jeff has a history of rage and regret. Eventually, apologies don't mean much anymore when the behavior keeps repeating itself. That would be true of me, right? If of anybody. So anyways, okay, well, let's keep chatting, but let's chat about today's Jeff Lewis Live. Sutton Strack and Cynthia Bailey, even though she was trying to be confusing or not really, tell us exactly what was going on with this for lease sign on her Sutton boutique. I don't even understand it. I made a clip of it and stuck it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group to ask y'all to explain it to me because I didn't even understand what she was trying to say. I have been there 3 times. It's a very small boutique. It's kind of an L-shaped boutique. Not very much parking. Especially the first time I went, June of 2022. Oh my God, hardly anything there. I mean, I don't even know what you would have bought. There was hardly anything even in the store to buy. And I was like, this is a sham, not a scam, as Jeff calls their sheets. Used sheets, but they're not, returned, sustainable, whatever he wants to call them, green label, what have you. But I was like, it's a sham. Like, why would, nobody's even coming here. Even fans, we're fans. We didn't even buy anything. Like, there was nothing there to buy. You know what I mean? So now she is saying that she's got a tiny part in the back and it's appointment only. So why even keep someone, I guess, Avi, why even keep someone on alert to go and make appointments with people to buy stuff? I guess some guy's driving all of her product to Houston. Shout out Houston. And this is where they're going to ship it from now. So, and what are they shipping? I think it's so confusing. Like, are her and Cynthia Bailey in business together? Or are they just doing the same thing with their own different companies? Like the live today, if somebody bought stuff, which people were saying they were buying, who gets that money? Sutton or Cynthia? Or is it a business they have together? Like, they've talked about this 5 times and I still don't know what the hell it is going on. Shout out Colorado. Yes, Jess says, didn't Jeff say he's breaking ties with Megan because she kept the relationship with Stu? Yes, his ex, yes, for sure. It's just so yes, Louise says the rent must be atrocious for that space too. And I think Jeff and somebody else has said it's one of the most expensive areas of West Hollywood. So it's crazy. But she said multiple times, going all online. Eventually I'm going all online. So why she has this sweet D or whatever they're calling it, this tiny little area, I think she's just eventually won't have that at all. But who's making an appointment? I think all of her stuff, even the t-shirts she had hanging, were other people's t-shirts that I guess were normally going to get dumped or returned. I mean, Jeff's saying used. I don't think it's the used stuff, but how do you know when someone returns something a t-shirt if they wore it or not. Do they wash it? Do they steam it again? Do they like, I don't even know. Nick James says, but Sutton has more money than God. So why is she worried about the money? I think she likes being busy more than the money. I think Cindy, like I know her, Cynthia Bailey. I think Cynthia is proving to herself, hey, I can make it on my own. I don't need a husband. You know, she's been divorced twice. You know, she doesn't need that. But I think it's the money also. You know what I mean? She ain't a full-time on Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore. She's, you know, finally getting some actor jobs. But you know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm over here on TikTok. So tap the screen. Thank you for tapping the screen over on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Make sure y'all know this does not go up as a replay on TikTok. So if you came in late, go to one of my other social medias. I'm everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast, or listen as a podcast at Sarah from Texas to watch the whole thing, because TikTok's the only place that the replay doesn't go up. So thank you so much, Lisa. So I just don't know. Cynthia Bailey definitely has her own collection. She sells the sheets also. So she said go to her Instagram for that. I'm guessing Sutton Green Label, since it's Sutton's name. I'm sure she's paying for someone to make that website. It's just a little bit confusing. Like, I understand Jeff saying, look, if all I did was sell sheets, I wouldn't be confused on what colors, what sizes, what are the sheets made from? Are they $70? Are they $99? Like, know your stuff. Like, you're coming on Jeff Lewis. Chumps want to spend money. It's just crazy. Cynthia has college to pay for. Her kid is like 20 something. She only has one kid, right? She only has one kid. Am I getting it confused? I mean, I didn't love Real Housewives of Atlanta after Kim Zolciak Bierman left, so as much. It's just weird. I didn't also love the shaman wedding story, but now it makes sense. So when I saw that Sonia Morgan was in Norway and Cynthia Bailey was there, I feel like maybe they were the only celebs I saw. But anyways, I was like, are they doing something? Is this a ultimate girl show? Like, what is going on? This freaking shaman paid for them to come over and post about it. Like, this reminds me of a month ago, where all these people went to this huge, like 3-day event wedding, super expensive. The husband's ugly. Of course, the bride is beautiful. She's married for love. And all these Kardashians were invited to post about it. You know what I mean? Just they spent way too much time on that, but it does make sense. And then Sutton was upset because she knows the guy and she wasn't invited. So kind of weird. Cynthia's birthday trip in Egypt, not weird. She still doesn't know enough information about it, but we had a great conversation about this. And one of you chumpettes, I think, is a travel agent, and looked at it and was like, no, it's actually a good deal. So I think Doug Buden's on board. So if you are interested in Egypt in February, hanging out with Cynthia Bailey, hanging out with Doug Buden himself, then if you got $8,600-ish, then I think I've found your vacation. Yes, Terry said Cynthia was living with her daughter for a while. She's definitely post-college and has her own house. This is the house on season 2. Is it a condo? It's a house. Condo? Whatever it is, a home. That was shown on season 2 of Hollywood House Lift. And yeah, Cynthia would come and visit, and why not stay with your daughter? Like, why get an apartment or rent something or have an apartment there? You know what I mean? Lisa Loves Dogs says someone was asking Cynthia Bailey if she was going to join the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, I don't think she fits in with the Beverly Hills ladies, but I still dream of Lisa Vanderpump coming back. Debbie. Debbie says, Sarah, I'm screaming that you said the guy's ugly and the bride is beautiful and they married for love. I love it. I mean, let's be real. If you've seen him and her, I mean, oh my God. And you see how much money they have. Yes. Louise. Okay. We're going to chat about her Instagram live in a second. Louise says, Cynthia has more than 4 million Instagram followers. That's more than most housewives. Sutton has 612,000. I chatted about this a week or two ago because I was saying she needs like a minimum, she said today, of like 20 people to sign up and pay for this Egypt trip. So, it's got to make sense. Otherwise, the trip's going to be canceled. So, with 4 million, that is huge. That is a lot. A lot of housewives, Bravo celebrities tend to have 600-ish to, maybe 1.2 million. I think Jax has 1.2 million. Brittany has 1-ish, 2-ish million. Lala, I don't know what Ariana's up to. She might have a lot more now that, with Chicago and Love Island. Love Island was huge, but yeah. So anyways, part of the very end of the show, they talk about dating, which Jeff's talked about before, how Tracy Tudor got on Hinge and she had like thousands of people after her, which So Jeff got on it. He kind of weeded out like 250 people. An old flame of his. And a caller calls in. So someone he dated 16 years ago and really liked the guy. The guy was really cute. He's a good person. Jeff said he was just in a shitty situation. He was in not a good frame of mind. So it didn't work out. But someone called in on Jeff Lewis Extended and said, oh, didn't Pola 2, when he read your coffee grinds, say that somebody was going to come into your life that you've already known? And I was like, oh God, who could that be? We didn't know about this guy from 16 years ago. I'm assuming he lives in LA if he's on. So is Hinge, I'm assuming, oh, well, you know what? Jeff could have opened it up to like New York for all we know. I don't know about Hinge, but I feel like he's probably long-term looking for someone in LA, right? Oh, I love that. Lisa says, I want to go to Egypt. Do it. If y'all go, you've got to tell us about it. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Yeah, for sure. Louise says, I think that Heather Dubrow will go to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I think she'll be then the only one that owns a house in Beverly Hills. Well, it's Beverly Hills called, but I do think they live, I don't even know where they all live in Beverly Hills. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where do they live? You know what I mean? I don't know. You're right. I don't really know. Okay, on Jeff Lewis Extended with Sarah Colonna, Doug Buden. I like them together. I think they're so cute. I love that Doug was like asking Jeff out, like to go to listen to music, like this symphony stuff that he likes to do. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, Jeff would never. Art and Yvonne says, Sarah, we should both go. Oh my gosh, I can't be gone for that long. That's a long trip. In February. And they all live in Encino. What's going on in Egypt? Mary says, I wouldn't go to Egypt right now. The world is in chaos. I mean, I guess it could be canceled for that. If they don't get 20 people, I'm sure they would say for the safety of whatever, just to kind of, make that make sense or whatever. I don't know. Terry says, did Sarah Colonna and Heather McDonald have a falling out? I feel like the feud is so deep between Jeff and Heather. And since Jeff very much brought up the podcast co-host situation of it all and how she doesn't pay her co-host, which nobody does in the podcast, very few do in the podcast world, but he does. He pays his guests just like, Howard Stern, I think. Maybe Howard Stern just pays the Rat Pack. But anyways, it's very unusual that Jeff does that. And I felt like it was kind of unfair to say that Heather doesn't pay for guests because I don't think anyone does. So, Luca Bigelow on TikTok says it's not a good idea to go to Egypt. It's too close to the horrific, you didn't say that, but the horrific stuff that's going on in Israel. And yeah, so live life. Flower and Rain Says the United States has school pew pew squatters, etc. Live life and go enjoy Egypt. I feel like everywhere can be dangerous. I mean, so I don't know. I don't think so. Sarah hasn't been on Juicy Scoop since she's been on Jeff Lewis, has she? I don't feel like she has. Um, at all. I mean, definitely a chump meetup. I mean, I think I've said there should be a chump con. I've always said that. Oh, I missed that. Favorite stars on Instagram says Jeff said the new guy is a cook, like a professional chef. Like, oh my God, I think he's going to be done with professional chefs. May Boo in London says, is it me or is anyone still getting used to what I call new Jeff Lewis show? It's changed so much. Don't get me wrong, I still love him in the show, but I do miss the old regulars and all the laughter. I hear that all the time, May Boo. I get that all the time. But you know what? The last conversation I had with Jeff, he said, people tell me all the time, you need different people, we don't love the guests that you're having. And he said, they always tell me we want Megan and Doug. And he says, so do I, but it's not going to be. So, he basically said, look, what should I do? Just not do the radio show? It's not going to be Megan and Doug. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, yes, Yvonne Gauss says, have they ever talked about the pay for Jeff's show? I heard them say 500, but what about extended? So they pay 500 on Jeff Lewis Live per guest, per time you come on. He pays them directly, like whatever. And I think it's still the same on Jeff Lewis Extended. They pay 300, but they kind of turn in almost a timesheet sort of to SiriusXM, and then SiriusXM pays them. Does that make sense? Oh, my Lily Boo says, new follower here. Shout out. Welcome. When and how was your first encounter with Jeff Lewis? My first time I ever met him was when I bought a ticket with the, I guess it was called VIP, the meet and greet, they called it, for the November 2021 live show in Burbank. And he was very nice. So by then I'd called in on the radio and said that I was so drunk at my 30th high school reunion. And he said, you'll be at the show. He said, I'm going to bring you some of, what's her face's drink, the Malone, what's her name? The drink, the prevention stuff. And he did. He called me up on the stage and just had someone bring it to me and bring me that drink. The prevention stuff, what's it called? Adrian Malouf stuff. Anyway, so that's what it was. Oh, it's a level 3 right now for Egypt. It's something to reconsider. Wow. So that might be a reason that they cancel it at all. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So I thought, so they talk on the show about, Egypt, and Doug might go, the psychic, the guy that Jeff's dating from the past. And I'm listening to it, which now I've finished. And somebody sends me the Instagram live in a text. And I'm like, oh, and then I realized a lot of you had sent it on the DM. I thought the Instagram live for Sutton and Cynthia was going to be at 1:00 California time, which is 3 p.m. my time. So then all of a sudden, Jeff's like sitting in their bed, like, jabbing them like he does. So it was really funny, really cute. I tried to share it. I thought you could share an Instagram live. You can only like copy the link. So I sent that over to the Facebook group, Sarah from Texas, and I what else did I do? Oh, I could put it on Threads, but I couldn't share it as a story. It was kind of disappointing. So, but she started it like, I've got tips for them. Like, you can go live with someone. I don't know if you can do 3 people, and I don't think Jeff would ever agree to have an Instagram live on his Instagram. Like, he's so doesn't really post that much at all. But Sutton, like someone just says, has 600 and something thousand. Cynthia has 4 million followers. If they're doing this together, why didn't they go Instagram live together? Then it would have alerted all of Cynthia's followers. And I don't know if she promoted it. Like, I know Sutton was promoting it, but did Cynthia promote it? Does anyone know? Yeah, Louise says that's disappointing. Would like to see those 3. You know what? You can save a live and put it up on your store, up on your post or story. So I don't know when it ended because then I was going live if she did that or Avi, whoever it is that does that. You know what I mean? Um, travel D dot says travel abroad at the present time is at your own risk. Yeah. I feel like, I mean, is that because of the airplanes? Like, ooh, what did Jeff talk about today? A seven? No, was it today? No, he was talking to the guy from Friday, maybe about traveling, like the 737 or whatever it was saying. Yes, it started from Sutton. So if it's saved, it will go up on Sutton's Instagram, which is Sutton Strack. Just like well, when I go live, I hit the button. So you could just let it die out and nobody ever sees the live again, or you can hit the button to share it. So anyways, okay, well, we have about 15 minutes if we want to just open it up to questions. Um, chit chat. Yeah, oh yeah, we're having a great conversation over on TikTok about people moving on. People need to move on and they change and they grow. They haven't been friends since the series finale of Flipping Out, unfortunately. Are y'all talking about what's her face? Jeff and Jenny? Oh my God, Jeff and Jenny together are just God, they're so funny. I mean, I feel like Jenny Pulos, y'all know I've said it before, I don't hide it. I would love for them to get back together for a lot of reasons. I just think Jenny, he was so comfortable with her that she brought out like the 12-year-old Jeff, the funny, having fun. And he always says he wants to have fun with people or people that make him money. So at the time she did both, you know what I mean? Uh-oh, Lisa Loves Dogs says Sutton Live was so confusing today. It was not fun. There's only like 130 people on there. So I just feel like with all the promoting that she's doing, having 600 and something thousand people on there, I would like to see that more. And Jeff said he was going to go live, but I swear, I thought they said 1 p.m. California time. I absolutely misheard whatever they said. Yes, Chat with Lucy says, did you see Sutton in bed with Cynthia and Jeff Lewis selling bed sheets? I sure did. Yeah. Lisa Loves Dogs says, I sure would hate for Jeff to be mad at me. He ain't gonna be mad at you. Thank you, Jennifer, for following me. Thank y'all for tapping the screen over on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Yes, my Lily Boo says, I'm still shocked at Joey going on the date with the points guy. So I've heard of the points guy. He's like really popular for like telling people how to use their points and benefits and rewards and all this stuff. Don't know what he looks like. But clearly he has a fun casual situation with Joey, I guess when he's in New York and they were all out together one time. So thank you, Joanne, for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. I found you. Yes, you found me. I go live every weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So on everything, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, where else? And then it goes up as a podcast at Sarah from Texas. Susie says he's handsome and rich. Well, that sounds like a good combination for anyone. Yeah, Chat with Lucy says they were all talking at the same time, amateur, which made it real and fun. And Jeff was trying to get in these jabs like, these are used sheets. Am I supposed to wash these sheets because they're used? And, what size they're on and everything. So here's you then about my podcast. He says Spotify, is it you, he or a girl? Spotify is not showing video still. I couldn't do it one of the days last week because I was in a rush. I think it was Friday because we were going to the lake. We were going to the Texas Hill Country. And it takes so long, especially when I go live for an hour versus 30 or 45 minutes. It takes a way long time. Yes, we talked about that last week. Kim K says, did you see that Buying Beverly Hills got canceled? Yep. So Mauricio's going to have to sell some more properties, right? And quit getting sued. I sort of wonder if I have to think the ratings were there. I have to think, but somebody said Netflix is known for canceling really popular shows. If they're making money hand over foot, they ain't going to cancel something. So either he and his staff, the cast, realtors, his family wanted more money and it didn't make sense, or it was a combination of all the drama and him getting sued, a lot of stuff. Yeah. Miss Rachel says, damn, I love that show. I know. I thought it was cute. And something's going on with Selling Sunset or whatever that one's called. Selling whatever. That Chriselle, whatever. I guess this happened when they were filming, but it's on right now. I don't watch it anymore. I watched the first season or two. That one is way too fake. I mean, they're really cute and dressed up and but I don't like that Tracy Tudor basically says none of them have their real estate license. Like they might, but they're just actors. You know what I mean? Here's You then says Netflix only cares about ratings. It can be the best show, but if the ratings aren't there, well, that makes sense though. If nobody's watching, they're not selling ads. So it's all about the money at the end of the day. I'm Cheryl Crow says Selling Sunset is still going. I walked past and they had a note in the window that said they were filming. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you hear that? All I've seen from Tamra Judge all weekend is the green, purple, blue face, whatever it is that Kelly Dodd made fun of on her TikTok or her on her Instagram. And apparently her mom's making fun of her too. We talked about this last week that Eddie, didn't we? Or was I talking to a friend? I can't even remember who I talked to. Like, was this on podcast or in a DM with y'all on the phone? But how Eddie is not being seen on this season of Real Housewives of OC. Now she just got this 2 or 3 different procedures. She's showing it. And it is even her birthday yesterday. It was like day 3 of it. She's not showing that I saw Eddie taking care of her. Like he's nowhere in the picture, which is odd for her. She always wants to show all of that. I don't think they do. I think the 2 twin brothers from Selling Sunset have their real estate licenses, but all those cute, hot girls, I've always heard they don't really sell. Flowers and Rain says, what? They don't have real estate licenses? Tamra should love what God gave. I mean, just Tamra or every housewife or every Bravo celebrity. I feel like she's doing this now in Bravo and Cocktails, who y'all know I adore, said that they're delaying the reunion of OC, the taping of it till October when Shannon is back from Love Hotel, the show that they're going to record in Cabo in September, which is any day now, really. He gave her a Cartier bracelet. Oh, for her birthday? Yeah, but that doesn't mean things are going well. I mean, I saw a clip of Vicky that made sense to me. She was basically like, look, she's over here showing her daughter and she needs to be going and knocking on Sydney's door, the one that they don't talk to, saying, let me fix this, let me apologize, whatever. And she said she's trying to distract. I shared that clip on my Instagram story, so it'll disappear tomorrow, but it said something like she's trying to not show what's going on really between her and Eddie. Nick, oh, that's a big question. What do you think really happened between Jeff and Megan? What do you mean really happened? I mean, I think what I've heard is what really happened. I think there was a lot of hurt feelings and I don't know. Yes, we chatted about that at the beginning of the show. So go back. Now, TikTok doesn't show the replay, but everywhere else does. Yes. Agnieszka? Vicky said that Tamra's not showing her relationship with Eddie. Exactly. I'm Cheryl Crow. I know people that have had, so people are dogging Tamra. You get, what is she, 58? I mean, you get to a certain age, maybe she's not that old. She got, part of the thing she did was this brow lift, which is sometimes people get this and not only does it not look great, but you end up holding your eyes open. So that's one of the things she got done. And then like basically a really strong chemical peel. And then I feel like she got one more thing done. Art and Yvonne says, wait, what's going on with Tamra and Eddie? I'm out of the loop. We don't know, but she ain't showing him much at all. In last season, remember how gross it was? We chatted about it. It opened up the season premiere where her and Eddie are in front of her refrigerator talking about going to Costco, how freaking boring, and then talking about their sexy time. So, she's always made it a point to chat. I just think everyone that's chatting about it all the time, maybe they're misrepresenting. Who did I recently see? The girl that was married? No. Who is it? Somebody just said they're having sex all the time, and I'm like, ugh, like, why talk about that? You know what I mean? Like Alexis. Whoa, chat with Lucy. Your complexion is beautiful. What's your secret? No idea. No idea. I mean, y'all know. So look at this. This looks so much better. This is an area that I've been dealing with for a couple months, some precancerous cells that I was having this lotion eat away. But I do put it on my face once a week. My doctor told me on Mondays happens to. So I did that and then washed it off this morning, and then I just have a moisturizer on. So that's all I have is a little Elf daily moisturizer, and that's my skin. But this is red. It's eating away those skin there right now. What else? Vicky is not getting paid. So friends of are not paid at all? Wow, I didn't know that. Cecily said, yeah. So, okay, to go back to that, that is why Bravo and Cocktail says she's probably getting the work done now, is because they're not doing the reunion until October because of Love Hotel. Cecily says, I think it'll take time to settle the eyebrow. It's a big procedure. So I knew someone that did it, and they do the incision right here in the little, it's a lot. I mean, you look beat up for a long time. Nick James. Okay. Has anyone that watches the Rick and Kelly show, has anyone seen it? By the way, who said that she needs to look into me? Did she say that on a Patreon probably? Nick James International says, saw something that Alexis will lose out on big money if she marries Johnny J. Her divorce settlement. I mean, she gets $10,000 a month. I'm sorry. I don't want to act like that's not a lot of money, but that's not a lot of money in the OC with her lifestyle. I think she would come out better being married to Johnny J financially. But she also had this engagement pretty soon before she got with Johnny J. Remember, she broke up with him and apparently lost the engagement ring in an Uber. Is that an insurance deal? I have no idea. No idea. Wait, what? Agnieszka? I'm saying that wrong. Someone said Eddie doesn't live with Tamra. Wait a minute, y'all. This house they have in Mammoth, they've got 2 houses. Remember how Jeff always says when people split up, but they don't want to split up, they get 2 houses? What's his face? The guy from Hollywood Houselift told him that. Anthony Anderson. He said a lot of rich and famous friends of clients of Jeff's, they get 2 houses. Ooh. If anyone hears any more of that, let me know. But that's kind of making sense to me. Like, I'm not. Bravo. It was so gross to watch her with Gretchen. She's a little flighty, but anyway, always seems so kind. Tamra found an easy target. I don't know which one y'all are talking about. Wait, what is Bravo and Stone doing? Oh, she was jealous of Gretchen? Are you talking about Tamra? Tamra Sue came on the show deflecting this season or every season? I mean, she never has much going on. I mean, besides the divorce with Simon, and even that wasn't really I feel like all of a sudden, right? It was like everything was hunky-dory, as Kathy Hilton would say. And then they were in that car ride going over to a party. And I think it was something about what she was wearing. Remember, there was a scene in a closet where she was dressing kind of whatever, and he didn't want that, Big Bear, not Mammoth. You're right. Bobby says they have a house in Big Bear. I'm thinking of Mammoth because I've been to Mammoth. I've skied up there forever ago. Wait, whose dog? Does Tamra normally post about her dog? I don't follow Tamra Judge. Kim K says, yeah, I'm thinking about it now. She hasn't been doing any dog posts about her dog. I don't know. It just sounds interesting. Louise says, for many years, I've followed both Brianna and Mike, Brianna is Vicky Gunvalson's adult daughter with 4 kids. Michael. No, Michael's not her husband's name. Oh, Mike, Brianna and Michael, the kids. Vicky's adult children. They're both doing well, but have zero relationship with each other. Would Vicky want her family's story told? Oh, wow. My kids are home from high school, so I'm trying to hear what they're saying. I mean, they usually don't talk to each other, so I'm just happy they're talking, right? I mean, he drives her home, but they usually go to each other's rooms and then, comes in. Who's hunky dory? I love that. Can we we're going to wrap it up soon. My Lily Boo, can we speculate what those Shannon videos would show that would be so bad for her? I mean, I don't know. I think if there was anything that either showed something bad of her and it wasn't also putting Johnny J in a bad light, like maybe he let her go and drive and be drunk. I don't know. Or maybe things he said. I feel like he's probably done a pros and cons list with Fun Lexi, and it didn't outweigh it to show the video. Like he would look like a complete dirtbag. You know what I mean? I'm Cheryl Crow says, I think threatening to release the video if Shannon doesn't pay is illegal. Did he do that though? I don't feel like he threatened about the video. I don't think, not that I've heard anything. So I don't know. Anyways, well, we are going to wrap it up, but thank you so much for joining live. It is always so much more fun. If you are watching as a replay, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the follow button, the subscribe, make a comment, all the things, hit the heart button. I would really appreciate it. And if you listen as a podcast, it's Sarah from Texas. Shout out. Make sure you take 2 seconds and give me a 5-star rating and review. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you again tomorrow and the next day and the next day at 3 o'clock Eastern. Bye, y'all. My Luna.